Hi, I'm Jake Bowling with Bowling RVs in Ottumwa, Iowa, and today we're going to do a side-by-side comparison of the Keystone Cougar and the Grand Design Reflection. Now these are two of the best-selling travel trailers in America today, and a lot of our customers ask us, what are the advantages of a Cougar over a Reflection? So today we're going to show you some of the finer points in the Cougar, why it's the better travel trailer, and why it has been the #1 selling lightweight laminate travel trailer in America for about 17 years. Let's go take a look. Anyone that's in sales knows that selling the story is just as, if not more important than selling the actual RV itself. Now, let me tell you, the guys at Grand Design, there's no one that does a better job than those guys at selling the actual story. Their company was started a little over 5 years ago by the three same men that started Keystone RV. Now, when they came to market, they promised their dealers three things. We won't sell to Camping World, we won't sell to online wholesalers, and you have to advertise at MSRP. This was music to dealers' ears. You wouldn't have to compete with Camping World, wouldn't have to compete with wholesalers, and everything would be at MSRP, so our customers are not going to be able to shop us to death and find the lowest possible price. It was a great thing for dealers, but it might not have been the best thing for customers because the market wasn't as competitive. Now, the rest of the story that goes along with that story is that they got dealers to believe that their product was better than anyone else's. The dealers were already bought in because they knew they could make more money on it. They just had to sell the Kool-Aid that their product was great. So what I want to do today is shoot some holes in the story of Grand Design RV. I think the biggest difference between Keystone and Grand Design is what I'm about to talk to you about. And it's the registers that Keystone cuts in their floor. Now, Grand Design's story about what they tell their dealers and what their dealers tell their customers is this. We don't cut holes in our floor. We don't want to compromise our flooring, and we don't want debris and gunk and stuff getting down into our vents. When in reality is they found a way to actually cut cost by using one of these. They run this from their furnace under their floor right here to their island. The only heat duct you will see in a Grand Design, be that an Imagine, a Reflection, a Solitude, a Momentum, is in their island, and there's usually only one in the camper. Whereas this Cougar that we're sitting in, there's one here. There's one here in the back, one in front of the island, and one in the actual hallway. So you're actually heating up your camper with 4 vents instead of just one. Now, this is not what the French would say is feng shui, functional. There's no way that a 35-foot travel trailer or a 40-foot fifth wheel or a 44-foot toy hauler can be heated by just one vent. But they sell the story so well that we don't want to compromise our floor. We don't want to cut into it. The dealers believe it, and then the customer believes it, but it's not the best thing. If Keystone, who's been building RVs since 2000, cuts holes in their floor, 1, 2, 3, 4, if it wasn't the best way to do it, they'd probably go to this. Maybe they'd go to one hole in their island, but they know that's not the best way to do it. Look, they're not in the business of cutting corners. They want to do it right, without fail, no exceptions every single time. So one of the next big differences between this Reflection and our Cougar is the way they do the awning. Now, Keystone uses a brand new patent pending technology on their awning, and that's right here. So you can control the awning from the outside, bring it in or out right here. You can also control the LED awning lights right here, and you can also install a wind sensor on the awning, so if the wind picks up too much, the awning will actually roll back in. It's something that's exclusive to Keystone, and it's a really neat feature. So the next neat piece of technology that you're not going to find on the Grand Design, that you're going to only find here in the Keystone, is right here. And that's the Furrion Wi-Fi access panel. Now the way that this works is you take this off, and then you buy a router to slide in here. Now you can do one of a few things with this router. First of all, you can get a hold of your wireless provider, AT&T, Verizon, US Cellular, and get a data plan every month, so no matter where you're at, you can get Wi-Fi to this camper. The next thing you can do is you can actually use this as a repeater and make it into a hotspot through your phone, so no matter where you're at in basically a 10 to 20 foot bubble around your camper, you're going to get great service password protected through your phone. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is something that Grand Design and Keystone both do. However, we've had customers that come in our store and say, that's not the way Keystone does that. Well, I want to put it on the record that they do this just like Grand Design does, and it's the way they frame up their windows. You see, every window on the inside and outside of RVs are circular. However, the studs are square. So it looks like this, and the window's rounded right here, and it leaves a little area that's called a gusset. Now what they both do is they weld an aluminum piece in there to keep the window from moving around. Now, Forest River is notorious for putting a little plastic piece in that area, gluing it in or stapling it in, and as the camper beats down the road, that plastic piece cracks, and a big bubble of delamination happens on the outside when water gets into the wall. Keystone doesn't cut a corner here, and I want to put it on the record that they build it the same way. The guys that started Grand Design RV, they got this from Keystone. So one thing that you're going to find here in the kitchen of the Cougar is that there's a ton of full extension ball bearing drawer glides. You have 4 right here in the front. There's another one right underneath your stove. And then there's another 4 right here. This is something that you are not going to find in a Grand Design Reflection. Another awesome feature of this Cougar is they do a vaulted ceiling from side to side. Now this gives you an additional 5 inches in the center of your camper. So if you're a tall person or if you're claustrophobic, you're not going to feel boxed in this camper like you are with that straight roof that's in the Reflection. Although you can see my reflection in this 50-inch TV, you won't see a 50-inch TV in that Reflection. The 50-inch TV is standard in every Cougar, where a 42-inch TV is standard in the Reflection. Well, that's a tongue twister. A king bed is a standard feature in every single Cougar travel trailer. Now the Reflection doesn't even offer a king bed. So if you want the functionality just like your house, then the Cougar is the camper for you. The MoreRide patent pending stair is another feature that you're going to find standard on this Cougar. Whereas the Reflection, you're going to get a regular hanging stair that hangs off the camper. Now it is an aluminum and it is easy to fold in and out, but it's not like this. It's not going to have the stability of this, and you can't adjust it like this stair here. So right inside the pass-through storage right here, you're going to find a few little red buttons. Now what those red buttons are tank pad heaters. They are standard on this Cougar. You have them on your black, fresh, and gray tanks, as this Cougar is 0 degree rated. That's not even an option on the Reflection. So not only are your tank pad buttons in here, but so are the buttons that control your jacks. As opposed to the Reflection, who puts them on the outside of the camper, they put them on the inside to keep them away from all the weather conditions and road debris that might come up and cause a problem with your jack button. So probably the biggest construction feature that we talked about today was the way they cut the registers in the floor. But another one is the way they build their back wall. Now this back wall on this Cougar is 3.5 inches thick. It's a fully laminated back wall. Whereas the Reflection that sits next door is 1.5 inches thick. A little bit different on the construction. So this Keystone Cougar and that Grand Design Reflection both have a 3-year structural warranty. However, there is a large difference between the two, because if you sell this Cougar within the first 3 years of owning it, this structural warranty will transfer to the next owner. It won't with the Grand Design. Automatic level up is standard on every brand new 2020 Cougar. Now with the Reflection, you're going to get those regular electric stabilizer jacks that come down in the back, come down in the front. You hit a button, you're going to need wood blocks to try to level out the camper. This is just like a motorhome. It's got its own equilibrium system in it, and it will actually level out your camper, one button, one touch. So thank you for watching this side-by-side comparison of our Keystone Cougar and this Grand Design Reflection. Remember, it's not what Grand Design tells you, it's what they don't. And although these campers are at the same exact price point, the Keystone is the superior camper. Now I hope you guys can take this and make a more informed buying decision. As always, I'm Jake Bowling here at Bowling RVs in Ottumwa, Iowa, your source for adventures on the road.